Hello YouTube fans, here again, and I figure why not without ado, to the final Nightmare on Elm Street, being Freddy's Finally Dead, the final nightmare. Say it again, the final nightmare. 1991, could be right one, either 91, 92. Wobbit England decided to call it a day. As you all know, the fifth one originally was going to be the last, but they decided to do one more, being Wobbit England. I think at the time, after doing so many Elm Street films, directing, doing the TV series, and so on, he decided he had enough. You know what I mean? He decided to call it a day and put away his Freddy stuff. But it's still not a bad one. It's still not a bad one for what it is. It's not a bad one. I think in this one, he wasn't taking it too serious. He wasn't going dark like he was in the fifth one, or the second one, and the third one. And even though he's taking it lighter, it's a big improvement from the fifth one. It's a big improvement. So we're going to go with it. At the time, they decided to go 3D. I don't know why they went 3D. You know what I mean? The 3D gimmicks from the 80s, whether it be DOS 3D, whether it be Annabelle 3D, whether it be the third Friday the 13th 3D. 3D was a dying out gimmick, but they decided to go 3D nearly at the end of the film. To, do a bit of rating and so on and make it bigger on a box office hit. And it's a lot better, I'll give it that. I choose this over the fucking remake and there's other shit nowadays, I'll give it that. So you get a bit of music in it. You got this lad, he's having this weird dream. The house fine in the air. You got Freddy pretending to be the wicked witch of the rest, saying he's going to take your souls. And that's something else. You can see that even though this is Robert England's last role as Freddy, he's having a ball. He's having a laugh. He's a lot more lighter. And so that's when he was shouting me and wanted something, so I had to pause the time though. But yeah, you can see that Robert England. Um, you can see his heart's more in this. In the fifth one, I can see he was knackered. His heart wasn't really in it, but he just went for it for a bit of this. And this one, even though it's his last one, it feels like he's having a ball. He's having a laugh. So his voice in the background, I do apologise. Anyway, so like I say, he's pretending to be the wicked witch of the rest. I'm going to take your souls. And you can see he's having a laugh. And it's sort of like the third one. He's got these lads in a special place, a bit like a turtle. And you've got the idea Freddy's fucking with them. My only issue in it is they've got Freddy's daughter in it. And I'm thinking, where the fuck does this come from? Where the fuck does Freddy's daughter? I just felt they should have brought back Alice. Or maybe since he's having a baby in the fifth one, maybe put it in so many days and the lad is Alice's son and he's trying to destroy Freddy. You know, something like that, but it is what it is. I just didn't get that Freddy had a fucking daughter, he was married, and so on. And there's loads of background story of Freddy in this. But because it's the last one, I sort of went with it. You know what I mean? It never really interested me in the third one, Freddy's mum, the nun. Same as it didn't interest me in the fifth one. But in this one being the last, you know what I mean? Your typical story. He killed animals. He got bullied. He got abused by his stepfather, which is played by Alice Cooper. You know, Poison Ivy, and so on. But yeah, I mean, them bits that really interest me. The bits, like I said, I like the idea that he gets one lad and he fucks with his hearing aid and it makes his head blow up. I like that death scene. That was pretty cool. The one where he gets his lad and he puts him in a TV, he's in a computer game. I thought that was that shitty death. Be like me, be like me. Cool graphics. So I didn't mind that. And like I say, you got a well-known actor in it. If you remember the villain in Live and Let Die, the Running Man, may he rest in peace. He's in this. I sort of like him in this. There's a bit of humour in it. The bit where he cuts his fingers off. You can see he's having. It's like I say. You can see Robert England is having a ball in this film. He's having a ball. He's having a laugh. So I sort of like that idea that Robert England is Freddy Krueger. You know, it's his last role as Freddy. He's still having fun doing this role. And like I say, I don't mind the actress that played his daughter. I just didn't know where the fuck this has come from. So he's killed all these teenagers. You do get a few well-known stars, whether it be Roseanne making a disappearance in the film, and so on. But I do like the bit where they're drawn to Freddy. Like I say, there's a bit where they put 3D dashes on. That's when you get the 3D gimmicks. It's all in 3D. They're drawn to Freddy. And there's a bit where it's similar to the first one. They've got to bring him out of the dream to kick his ass. So it's all like copies from the first one. But I do like the bit where they're so, like, the bits where they're so in bits. I could take it or leave it. You know, the typical story. He kills animals. He's got a stepfather, like I say, played by Alice Cooper. And the bit where he's married, I was thinking, where the hell's that come from? So he kills his wife because he's discovered he's a kiddie killer. The only bit what I thought was interesting was the bit where Freddy Krueger says, every street has an Elm Street. And it's like I said with the original, the second one, I like that because the less you knew about Freddy Krueger, the more interesting that character was, the more scary it was. It's like he says, every street has an Elm Street, meaning there's people like that, and it's frightening, kiddie killers. So I didn't really need the shit about him killing animals. He got abused by his stepfather, all the usual boring innuendos of why he's a killer. You know, excusing why. But I do like the bit. They get him out. They got this bollocks out these demons giving him special powers, and that's how he got into people's dreams. But the bit where they get him out, they fight him. The daughter throws a bomb. There's something into his ducts. He blows up. His head blows up in 3D fucking style. And then it's basically, she says, Freddy's finally dead. End of movie. There's all bits at the end where it's all the Elm Street films, whether it's one, whether it's two, three, blah, 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 and so on. And it's sort of sad one way it's the last Elm Street film, but as you know, money talks. 2 years later, in 1994, you had Wes Craven's New Nightmare, when they made him darker again. Then you had Freddy vs. Jason in 2003. And then, sadly to say, 2010, you had the fucking horrible remake. The less I talk about that, the happier I'll be. But this one, I didn't mind what it was. I mean, Robert England was having a ball. He knew it was going to be what he thought was going to be his last. And you can see he's having a ball, he's having a laugh, he's having a good time playing this role. He's having a good time, and you can see it in the film. So I like that. I like some of the cool deaths. Like you got one lad, like I say, he's partly deaf, and he puts his really hearing aid in, and he's doing this, and he straps this, and he makes his head blow up. Really good. The other deaf, I could take it or leave it, but there's one lad, and he thinks he's the son of Freddy. And it turns out it's not. And he says that line, you think I'm your daddy, don't you? And he falls to his doom, he puts spikes in. The guy copied a bit where he gets souls and they're going into him. So I sort of like that, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean, it's not a bad film for what it is. I mean, Bob England's having a laugh. And it originally was going to be the last, but you know, bullshit. As they had the New Nightmare, and then Robert England pies his role in Freddy versus Jason. And you know, nowadays everything's still today, Robert England, Freddy Krueger. That's why I never buy anyone else playing that role. He made that role his own. And it's professing to see him make one last appearance, what originally was going to be the last. But it's professing to see this being a fun ride. He knew at this point he couldn't make him sturdy Freddy no more. He couldn't make him dark. There are bits where his Alice would come back from Elm Street 4 and 5. Sad to say, it never got to be. But I still like it what it is. Still like it what it is. So that's Freddy's finally dead. Bullshit. And the Final Nightmare, but it's also bullshit. As we know, they made full other ones. Put into them. Be smart. Be safe. Move this boulder, what's been doing my head in, what's been stuck in my nose the last fucking hour. And now it's gone fucking worse. About picking my fucking nose. And I'll see you later.